Beer without hops would be dull. Beer without yeast would be farmy water. Beer without water would be dry. But beer without malt, that just wouldn't be beer. Welcome to Beery Theory. So, crops have small seeds. These are called grains. Thanks for watching. Grains that have been put through the malting process are known as malts. Thanks for watching. The malting process involves soaking grains in water so that they start to germinate or grow, and then putting them in a kiln under hot air to stop that germination process. It's a bit inhumane. That's horrible. So the grain before it goes in the kiln is known as green malt, and it's heated up to the desired colour and specification. These range from very dark malts producing roasted and chocolate beers, all the way through to amber malts and crystal malts, producing the lightest of all beers. There's a ton of malts out there, most of which derive from barley. These are like pilsners, pales, ambers, acids. Then you can also of course get malts from wheat, rye, oat and rice, along with many others. This one, I don't know what that is. Most brewers have a standard base malt. This makes up around 25% of the main mix. And then for the rest of that, they add the different ones that control the flavour and the colour, like the amber ones, the pilsner ones, the roasted ones, like we spoke about earlier. This isn't the case for wheat beers, some of which can be 100% wheat malts. They're not only there for colour though. The malting process starts to develop the enzymes within the grain to turn the starch into sugar. Starch is a carbohydrate made up of a series of glucose units, and this malting process helps break up the chains holding the starch together, turning it into the raw molecules of glucose. So the enzymes are ready to go to break that starch down into sugar. But to start the process off, the malted grain is milled and mixed with water in a process known as mashing. The water is warmed up to a temperature carefully controlled by brewers, and a temperature that ranges across breweries across the world and is much debated in the beer community, apparently. The liquid you end up with at the end of the whole thing is this maltose-based, sugary, dark liquid is known as the wort, and this goes on to work with the yeast to produce alcohol. So there you go, perhaps an ingredient that you didn't really think did much in the world of beer. It goes from the field, it's grown and it's like, yeah, I'm growing, and then they put it in the kiln and it's like, no, you're not growing anymore. And then they mash it up and put it in the water. That makes the treacle. Oh my god, that was so wrong. So give malt a little bit more respect. It adds colour, it adds flavour. It does so much to the process. I mean, without it, beer just wouldn't be beer. It wouldn't even resemble anything close to beer. So there you go. I thought a little homage and a little bit of science about the world of malt in beer. Thanks for watching this episode of Beery Theory. I'll see you next time.